I've used all the major focal lengths, 24 through 85 millimeter, and seen the strengths and challenges of all of them in regards to street photography. And by far, not just with street, but all genres of photography, 50 millimeter is probably the most recommended focal length. On APS-C, that looks something like a 32 to 35 millimeter lens. Now I think it's because it's very close to what the human eye sees. And whether or not it's exact, I don't really care. We all got different eyes, but it's close enough to feel natural. Now beyond that, there's an endless amount of reasons why it's so easy to recommend, but today we'll keep it to 5. First, 50mm lenses allow you the freedom of maintaining space between you and your subjects. Learning how distance affects your photograph should be an essential priority, especially when starting out. Getting closer can create emphasis on your subject, cross out unwanted things of your frame, or utilize principles like compression. More on that later. And stepping back can help you photograph the subject in relation to the environment, as well as help tell a greater story about where you are and what's going on. Now, an exciting but also challenging aspect of street photography is making those up-close, engaging photographs of everyday life. While I think the natural progression does lead towards you wanting to at least try to make photographs in that vein, it's not necessary, nor does it automatically make a photo interesting. When you consider all of the different ways you can organize a composition and how that extends to your style, simply getting closer for close's sake will be a massive limitation on your creativity. So experiment with distance. Reason number 2, they're extremely versatile. The closer you physically are to your subject, the more you'll achieve the effect of compression, which in layman's terms essentially flattens the background and makes it appear closer to your foreground and midground, which is a beautiful effect that's kind of romantic. The best thing about it is that since you aren't required to be extremely close to people, you can truly operate in the world as an observer, not really affect what's going on by photographing them. Juxtapose that with something like a 28mm lens. If you want similar subject prominence in a photograph, you're often getting so close that you're essentially becoming part of the moment that you saw. Not to mention, compression is pretty much a pipe dream because you will not achieve that with a wide lens. While there's nothing wrong with those differences, it's a stylistic thing you'll have to consider. And you'll see as you go that you might lean on one side versus the other. Reason number 3 is that 50mm lenses are often some of the cheapest options in any camera system. Since these lenses are relatively easy for manufacturers to make, you can usually find them for $100 to $500 in any given camera system. And while $500 is $500, that's relatively affordable when it comes to photography. Now, some of the best images I've ever made were created with kit lenses and $200 plastic primes. Now, that being said, I still appreciate a premium lens. Depending on where you live and how you shoot, quality of life improvements like faster autofocus, weather sealing, and more that you can find in these premium lenses might be necessary. Reason number 4 is that they are often very compact. When I was first getting started, all I cared about was, did the lens have a 1.4 aperture and was it sharp? That lens could have been as big as a rocket launcher. Sigma, I am looking at you. But let me tell you this, if you're gonna be doing multiple hour photo walks, consider size. Now me, I've been doing street photography lately on the Fujifilm X-H2, provided by Fujifilm, but also recently on the GFX 50S Mark II, which is small for medium format, but pretty large if you compare it to APS-C. Now a small lens on an already small camera body is a level of convenience that's hard to beat. GFX beats it in every measurable way when it comes to image quality, and I didn't mind the weight, but I know a lot of y'all will. Whether it's on a wrist strap or a shoulder bag or a neck strap, a smaller kit is just easier to bring around. Unless you don't mind, then it is what it is. Final reason, number 5, it's a gateway lens. You may see that you love the effect of compression, the reach, and the ability to exist fully outside or within a moment, as it's totally up to you. And while 50mm provides that, you might want to take those elements to the next level. That's where you'll see that there's great 75, 85, 90mm equivalent lenses on just about every camera system as well. On the flip side, you might see that while you do get a decent amount of environmental context with a 50, you might want to explore having the ability to move even closer to these moments you see while still capturing more of the environment and creating a sense of drama. If that's the case, your natural next step might even be a 35 or 28mm lens, but just as easily, 50 may remain the perfect lens for you to grow on, and you make no changes at all. While I do think that it's a great option for beginners, that doesn't mean that you can't become an expert or excellent while still using it. There's really no such thing as a beginner focal length. You can use whatever you want for as long as you like. 50 is a jack of all trades, master of many, and easily something that could be the perfect focal length for many people out there. With that all being said, thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, swing over Instagram and say hi, or hit me up on Threads and we can talk there. My name is Dorian Coleman, and thank you for watching.